Welcome, my dear students, for online class. Dear students, I hope you are well by the grace of Allah. After removing coronavirus from our country, even from the world. Dear students, today I want to discuss on English second paper for the SSC students. Today's topic, changing sentence, Dinajpur Board 2016. Dear students, notice carefully. William Wordsworth is one of the best well-known poets in English literature. Positive. William Wordsworth হচ্ছে one of the best well-known poets. সেরা সুপরিচিত কবিদের অন্যতম in English literature, ইংলিশ সাহিত্যে। উইলিয়াম ওয়ার্ডসওয়ার্থ ইংলিশ সাহিত্যের সেরা সুপরিচিত কবিদের অন্যতম। The students, you have to change into positive. First of all, you have to identify, is this sentence comparative or superlative? So there is a structure of superlative in this sentence. One of the plus adjective 3. One of the plus adjective 3. If you find the structure of superlative degree, you have to change into positive. While changing into positive, you have to come very few dot dot s plus adjective 1 plus s. B-E-R-Y, very, F-E-W, very few dot dot s plus adjective ADJ adjective 1 plus s. The students, you have to apply this formula, the structure of superlative positive degree. By changing into positive degree from superlative, you have to apply this structure. Dear students, first of all, you have to write very few, and then you have to set well-known poets in English literature after adjective 3. ANS W answer. BERY, very, FEW, very few. You should remember that very few, after very few, you have to use plural verb, plural NP. You have to use plural verb, plural NP. So you have to set plural NP. Well-known words in English literature. W-E-L-L, well, A-N-O-W, known, P-O-E-T-S, words, in E-N-G-L-I-S-H, English, L-I-T-E-R-A-T-U-R, English literature. You have to write plural verb Here Bhag is. So you have to set R. In this group, M is R. So you have to set R. A-R-E-R. You have to write as according to the formula. You have to set adjective 1 instead of adjective 3. You have to set adjective 1 instead of adjective 3. Adjective good, adjective good, better, best. You have to write good. G-O-O-D, good. You have to set as, and you have to write subject of this sentence. William Wordsworth. W-I-L-L-I-A-M. William. W-O-R-D-S. W-O-R-T-H. Wordsworth. Very few well-known poets in English literature are as good as William Wordsworth. Question B. He was the second of his father's five sons. He was the second of his father's 5 sons. Dear students, in this sentence, there is a auxiliary verb was, and this is subject. So, by using the structure of integrative sentence, you can change into negative. First of all, you have to write auxiliary verb before subject. And the sentence is affirmative, you have to set negative. The sentence is negative, you have to set affirmative, according to the structure of integrative. A-N-S-W-E-R, answer. First of all, you have to write was, A-S was, and you have to write not in brief NT. N-T. Wasn't he the SECOND, second of HIS, is FATHER, fathers, FIB, 5 SONS. Question C. He was born at Cumberland on April 4, 1770, 1770. That is to say 1770. He was born, সে জন্মগ্রহণ করেছিল at কাম্বারল্যান্ডে on April 4, 1770. 1770 সালের 4 এপ্রিল। Dear students, you have to change into complex. Question: is this sentence simple or compound? As you have to change into complex, so you have to think. The students, one subject, one finite verb in this sentence. So one subject he, one finite verb was. So you have to think this sentence is simple. You have to change into complex. Dear students, there is a keyword in this sentence. Issue, very important issue, Cumberland. Keyword Cumberland. So you have to Cumberland. You have to think. Cumberland is a place. So you can use place as. So my dear students, first of all, you have to write Cumberland and you have to use verb plus the place. You have to set. The students write. First of all, you have to write ANSWER answer. You have to write CUMBERLAND Cumberland. This is the keyword, and you have to make a sentence. Subject verb. Cumberland. You have to say verb is the PLACE place. So, my dear students, while changing into complex, you have to come where? Because Cumberland is a place. You have to set where as conjunction. WHERE, where you have to set he was born on April 4, 1770. He, WAS was BORN, born on APRIL, April for 170. The students, Cumberland is the place where he was born on April 4, 1770. You can solve another rules by using the another rules. It is Cumberland. First of all, you have to say it is Cumberland where he was born. Where he was born on April 4, 1770. Question D. When he was 8 years old, যখন তার বয়স 8 বছর ছিল, his mother died, তার মা মারা গিয়েছিল. The students, you have to send into simple. Question: is this sentence complex or compound? There is a conjunction of complex when, and there are two subject and two verbs in this sentence. So this sentence is complex sentence. You have to change into simple. Why changing to simple? Just will notice this is age. This sentence denotes age. So you have to use the phrase at the age of. You have to use the phrase at the age of. And you have to set possessive form and you have to write 8 years old. 8 years. 8 years. 8 years. At the age of, dear students, you can write in this way. ANSWE answer. First of all, you have to write at the age of. 8 years, the age of. At the age of, you have to set his instead of he. He, him, his. You have to set his. H-I-S, his. You have to write 8 years. E-I-G-H-T. G-H-T. 8 Y-E-A-R-S. You have to set next part of the sentence. H-I-S, his. M-O-T-H-E-R, mother. D-I-E-D, died. The students, age means old, old means age. So you have to use one word use. So old means old is cut. You have to cut old from this sentence, from this clause. So at the age of his 8 years, his mother died. You can apply another formula, another rule. Another rule, at his 8, at his 8, his mother died. At his 8, his mother died. You can apply by using this structure to solve any grammar of this formula. Question E. At the same year, he was sent to the grammar school of Oxford for education compound. At the same year, একই বছরে, he was sent, তাকে পাঠানো হয়েছিল to the grammar school of Oxford. অক্সফোর্ডের গ্রামার স্কুলে পাঠানো হয়েছিল for education, শিক্ষার জন্য। For education. At the same year, he was sent, তাকে একই বছরে তাকে পাঠানো হয়েছিল অক্সফোর্ডের গ্রামার স্কুলে for education, শিক্ষার উদ্দেশ্যে। The students, we have to change into compound. So first of all, you have to set it was. You have to write it was while changing to compound, and you have to come while changing to compound. You have to come and. A-N-S-W-E-R, answer. It, first of all, you have to write. He was sent. This clause. This clause you have to write firstly. He was sent to the grammar school of Oxford for education. First of all, you have to write this clause. He was sent to the grammar SSCHWL. G. Grammar school of AWKSHEAD for EGEDUCATION education. And you have to set F. You have to write subject as it, and you have to set verb according to this another sentence. The students, this sentence is B2, means past indefinite tense. Was, so you have to set was. was the at plus time. This formula named at plus time, at plus year. The same SAM is same YEAR. Yes. The students, formula is at plus time, at plus time. So we know while changing to compound, you have to set two subject to verb. Two subject are same, you have to set, you have to cut second subject. Second subject is silent. So my dear students, going to next. Question number 8. He was only 13 years old when his father died. You have to change in interrogative. Dear students, there are two clauses in this sentence. So while changing into interrogative, you have to sense, you have to do the principal clause of interrogative. You have to do principal clause of interrogative. So he was only 13 years old. This is principal clause. So dear students, is this auxiliary verb? Yes. There is auxiliary verb was. First of all, you have to set auxiliary verb before subject. ANSWER, answer. WAS. The sentence is affirmative. You have to add negative. The sentence is negative. You have to set affirmative. Dear students, this sentence is affirmative. You have to set negative. Wasn't. And he wasn't. He ONLY. You have to write next part of this sentence and you have to use question marks at the end of this sentence. Only 13 YEARS OL WHEN when HIS is FATHER father DIED, right? So to set question marks. Wasn't he only 13 years old when his father died? I hope you have understood this formula. Question number 3. Fundamental education had been given to him at school. Fundamental education মানে মৌলিক শিক্ষা, fundamental education মৌলিক শিক্ষা, fundamental education মৌলিক শিক্ষা, fundamental education মৌলিক শিক্ষা had been given দেওয়া হয়েছিল to him তাকে at school স্কুলে। মৌলিক শিক্ষা তাকে দেওয়া হয়েছিল স্কুলে। Students, this is this sentence active or passive? Exactly, this sentence is passive because fundamental education is not personal subject and it does not work this verb, the action of this verb. So there is no object after by, to, at, with in this sentence. So my dear students, if you do not find any object after add, by, to, add, with, you have to think, you have to bring object as subject while changing to active. So dear students, question, is there any auxiliary in this sentence? Must. Of course, there is auxiliary in this sentence. Had. This is auxiliary verb. Been. This is an extra word. Given B3. So fundamental education. This is subject. You have to set as object after verb. First of all, you have to write subject, your thinking. By doing your thinking, you have to write who had given, who had taught him, who had taught William Wordsworth. Exactly, teachers, his teacher, his teachers. So my students, you can write the teachers. ANSWER, answer. First of all, you have to write the EEACHERS, teachers. You have to write auxiliary verb. Here auxiliary had, he said he had. You have to cut extra word from this sentence. Been. You have to write B3 after had. GIBEN, given. You have to write object, fundamental education as object. You have to write subject. You have to write object of subject. Fundamental education. FUNDA fundamental. EDUCATIONAL education. And you have to write next part of the sentence. To him at school. To HIM, him, at SCHOOL. The teacher had given fundamental education to him at school. That is to say in Bangla, শিক্ষকরা মৌলিক শিক্ষা দিয়েছিল তাকে স্কুলে। Question is, the education that he learned, this is wrong, learned. He learned from this institution played better role in his life. The education that যে শিক্ষা he learned, তিনি শিখেছিলেন from his institute, এই প্রতিষ্ঠান থেকে, played better well in his life, তার জীবনে অধিক ভূমিকা, অধিক মানে ভালো ভূমিকা, গুরুত্বপূর্ণ ভূমিকা পালন করেছিল। অধিক তার জীবনে অধিকতর ভূমিকা পালন করেছিল, অধিকতর ভালো ভূমিকা পালন করেছিল। Students, you have to change into simple. So question, is this sentence complex or compound? You have to identify, is this sentence complex or compound. There is a conjunction that, and there are two verbs to subject in this sentence. There are two verbs. So, my dear students, we can say this sentence is complex sentence. While changing into simple, you have to change into simple. While changing to simple, you have to cut. You have to cut auxiliary verb, and you have to make phrase. So, my dear students, the education in this sentence, the education is subject, and that he learned from this institution. The students, you have to make past participle phrase. You have to make past participle phrase. So you have to cut that, and you have to set his instead of he. You have to set his instead as his. He means his. So you have to cut his. You have to learn. ANSWER answered. The EDUCATION education LEARNT learned FROM from PHI is this INSTITUTIION PLAYED late BETTER late TTER ROLE role IN in HIS LIFE. The students, one subject, one finite verb. You have to keep one subject, one finite verb in this simple sentence. So you have to make this past participle phrase. Education learned from this institution. Learn from this institution. This is past participle phrase. And if you find noun plus past participle form while changing into complex, you have to use that. So, my dear students, while changing to from simple or in this way, as usually, you can change into noun plus past participle. So, the education learned is noun plus past participle. So, you can apply, you can solve in this way by using this formula. The students question I, the readers called for a new edition of his famous book, The Lyrical Ballads. Patokra, the readers called for a new edition of his famous book, The Lyrical Ballads in 1800. Passive. The students have to change it to passive. First question, is there any auxiliary verb in this sentence? No. As there is no auxiliary verb in this sentence, so you have to think, you have to find B1, B2, and B1 plus S or yes. You have to find B1 plus S or yes or B2. The students, called. This is called for. This is a group verb. And called ED. At this verb. So this is B2, called. called. This is B2. So if the verb is B2, this is verb, the reader subject. A new edition of his famous book, The Lyrical Ballad, is subject in Athens. So lyrical ballads still this is subject. So first of all, you have to while changing into passive, first of all you have to subject of object, and you have to set verb, and you have to set extra word, and you have to set B3, and you have to set by, to, add, with, and you have to write subject of object. You have to write object of subject, and you have to write next part of this sentence. So my dear students, in this way, by using this formula, you can solve this grammar, this rules, this question. ANSWER. Answer. First of all, you have to write a new edition. ANEW EDITION of HIS FAMOUS BOOK book. TH is the LYRICAL BALLADS in cycle ballad. The students, you have to set auxiliary. The students, call this B2. You have to bring extra word. If you find B2, you have to bring was where after subject. You have to set was where after subject. So a new edition, this is singular, so you have to set was. WAS was, and you have to write B3. CALLED, called, and you have to write BY by, because readers this is subject and this is personal subject. So you have to set by, and you have to write the READERS readers in 1800. The students, in this way, you can apply by using this formula to solve this grammar. A new edition of his famous book, The Lyrical Ballads, was called by the readers in 1800. This book brought a huge name and fame in his life. This book, এই বইটি brought মানে এনেছিল a huge name and fame, মানে নাম এবং খ্যাতি এনেছিল, অনেক নাম ও খ্যাতি এনেছিল in his life তার জীবনে. This student, you have to send them to exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentence, first of all, you have to write what, how, what plus you and you have to write adjective plus noun, adjective or adjective plus noun, article, adjective, adjective plus noun, adjective, article plus adjective plus noun, or you have to set article plus noun, and you have to set subject plus verb. So my dear students, in this sentence, notice carefully, this book, this subject brought verb, a huge name and fame in his life. So my dear students, first of all, you have to write, as if you find a article A of itself, you have to set what plus A of itself. You have to write what plus you applies n. So first of all, you have to write what by changing into exclamatory. WHAT, what? Answer. ANSWE NSWER. Answer. First of all, you have to write WHAT, what? And you have to set A because name consonant, first letter consonant. So you have to set A. What? And you have to cut use and you have to write next part of this sentence after use. Name and fame in his life. They name and fame this is stress and it was else. Use. This superlative word. Use. High temperate word. Use. So use when is used what it means use. Compare. So you have to set NAME name and FAME fame, IN in HIS is LIFE life. You have to set after use. You have to set name and fame in his life after use. And then you have to write subject and verb. Subject this, THIS this, BOOK book, and you have to write broad, BROUGHT broad. This is verb. You have to set exclamation marks. What a name and fame in his life this book brought. Dear students and viewers, I hope you have understood. Then I want to say, if you do not understood, you can ask me easily in my comment box. And so my dear students, if you feel better from my teaching, if you are benefited from my teaching, I request you will subscribe my channel or you will share this channel to get your another friend. So my dear students, continue your study. Go ahead and watch my video. I believe you will succeed and you will get a top position by your working hard. So have a good day, spend a good day. See you next time. Thank you very much.